All right, welcome back, everybody. We're here for another Bermuda Bowl and World Championship report, and today was quite a day. I don't know about everybody else who's been watching, but I woke up this morning and saw that China had banged up Italy in the first segment. It really made for an exciting morning. I couldn't believe that they were ahead by 15 after a first segment. And welcome, Jason. Welcome back.
All right, thanks, Gav. As well, I woke up at 5 a.m. here on the West Coast and was shocked to see the run China put on, and had a really exciting time there watching China play Italy in that last segment, and then watching USA2 as well play versus Sweden.
Yay! Look who showed up. They found the button. What's happening?
Hey, Curtis, welcome.
Live from the Netherlands. Hopefully the internet will allow this to go through smoothly. Oh, have to try again later, and we'll keep going here. I mean, that match this morning, the China-Italy match. One thing that amazed me, I don't know if how many people noticed this, but Versace and Loria, they've been the big name pair of the Italian team for as long as I've been watching these Bermuda Bowls, and they didn't play the fifth or sixth segment. That's really, I found it mind-boggling. What do you think, Jay?
Yeah, that really surprised me as well. I saw that they didn't look like they had the greatest set in the fourth segment, but they're a rock. I mean, they have been together much longer than both the other pairs, probably 2 to 3 times as long as both the other pairs combined. And then the fact that they had such faith in their other two pairs, okay, if somebody's not doing well, let's have the other two pairs take care of business, and they did.
Yeah. It really does. To me, it says a lot that Medalla is really young, and for the Italian team just has this legendary feel about it. For them to be willing to send somebody so young in when the World Championship is on the line in the last segment, it says a lot about their confidence in that partnership. And now we have Curtis. Can you hear us?
I can hear you.
All right, we got him.
I have terribly low bandwidth.
Okay, you're live from the Netherlands though, and congratulations on getting your team so far. Curtis is the NPC of the of USA2 of the kids, and so what's it like down there? Tell us about the experience being the NPC.
Well, I think everyone thought that there would be a lot of discussion about, like, they would decide when they played or not, and we quickly found out that wasn't how it was going to work. So they're my little army. I basically don't talk to them at all when we're not playing bridge. We show up for the game. I tell them where to sit, and they go sit and come back and compare, and like I said, it's my little army going to war.
Yeah, so you're saying that you're making all the lineup decisions, that they're all acting ready.
Well, as you can imagine, I think that Joe thought I was in there in captain in name only. You can imagine Joe wants to run things.
Is he letting you get away with it?
You've been there. But they're all great. So I mean, basically, I go up, I set the lineup, I come and I tell them who's in, who's out, and they go do it.
Oh, that's awesome. That definitely catches me by surprise. I would have guessed that they're just like, Curtis, turn this in. Curtis, here's our lineup. Go put it in, and you'd have to take their crap. But it's good to hear.
Yeah, that's exactly how you would think it go. Now, if outside of just deciding who I want to play against whom. Basically, the only thing I do is to go look at the convention cards of their opponents the next day, and make little scribble notes if there's anything I think they should know before they go. So as far as I'm concerned, their only job is just go play bridge and worry about nothing else. So Phil and I also wash their clothes for them, get them cokes, whatever else it takes.
So can you tell us a bit about the match against Sweden? About we saw that we knew. There was some rumors about Berteau and Nystrom stopping to play together in the future, and today it was a big shock to me when I saw on ViewGraph that they'd actually split their partnership for a couple sets today. Do you know anything about what was going on, about their mentality, about why they did that?
Well, I don't know. Everyone thought they were maybe slightly dysfunctional. I didn't think so. And if you look for their convention cards, there's they have 3 convention cards for the normal pairs, and then then there's a separate convention card that's called mixed partnerships. So they were fully ready, and let's see. I don't think any of you was in in China last month. We played 2 tournaments in Beijing, and the normal lineup was Johan playing with Frederick. So that was pretty much the official lineup that they planned to go in with.
Right. And how the boys play? How is everybody confident? Is everybody happy? Your team? Everybody?
Yeah, I think we were actually incredibly lucky. Everyone played, in my opinion, kind of like crappy the first segment. The second segment was like really more more crappiness. So at one point we were like maybe minus 45. It looked like it was about to go to about minus 60. But we had an amazing board, which I wrote about in my Facebook yesterday. Joe and Justin were steaming a little bit. They bid 6 clubs down 300 with 13 facing 9 and a 9-card fit. So it looked like another lose 13. But Joel Woodridge made a spec double of 5 clubs that was bid against him, and they sent it back and misguessed the ending to take it from minus. They got redoubled, so instead of minus 400, they misguessed the ending, went down to 1,000, and that just changed the whole mo for the entire rest of the match.
Well, so can you explain what the reaction was at the comparison when
the reaction was we were talking. Joe was hanging his head, and I was on his ass a little bit about what I thought was steaming, and we hadn't told him about the board. He was so into his own head that he had no idea what was happening until our guys came back, and I said, oh, by the way, you're minus 300 board. He says, yeah. I said, our boys went plus 1,000. That, it went from him, not want to look at anyway. So, really now he immediately straightened up and beamed and, kind of that.
Nice.
All right, well, cool. We're going to move on to talk about a couple of the other matches right now. I don't know about you guys, but the Netherlands, I was very surprised at the margin of victory. They really killed Iceland, and they really, after Short's interview on our site, he was really confident, and it was really they really came through to match his words from what he had to say. I think that they're a real threat, that they're able to come through and walk over Iceland like that. I didn't see any of the match. Like most people, I imagine, I was watching the 2 close matches, Italy against China and USA2 against Sweden. And,
well, look at the round. Hang on, Lynn Dees just came in. So, I mean, if you look at the round robin, Italy trounced everyone, and Netherlands was really just right behind them in second, having done pretty much the same to everyone else. So I think that probably representative of how the teams are playing right now.
And do you think that there's a big disadvantage to them that they have to meet each other because there's 2 American teams in? Would you say that that's that it's fair that this is how it's done?
Well, it's I mean, it's obviously fair. That's if we get 2 teams, which we didn't get 2 teams until not so long ago. So we're going to get 2 teams. It makes sense to me. If we want to keep bridge popularized, that they do what they do and make have us play the semifinals against each other. I mean, we don't like it. We'd much rather both play in the finals, but I think it's a very fair compromise.
Right. And would you say that this? I mean, who do you think is going to win that match tomorrow? Or sorry, before we get to that, let's just go over the Israel USA one, and USA won in the round robin. They didn't finish as high as everybody maybe had thought. They, coming into the tournament, people thought that they were, clearly one of the major favorites to win the event, but then they struggled a little in the round robin. But they came in against Israel, and looking at the scoreboard, it's pretty impressive. They won every segment, and to the point where Italy threw in the flag. I mean, rather, Israel threw in the flag, and they won by 120. So I mean,
I was shocked. I was totally shocked that they handled it the way they did. I thought it would be a close match. With USA 1 winning, maybe 20 or 30 at the end. But yeah, I would not have predicted that they would actually get a withdrawal with 16 boards to go.
What do you think about the notion of withdrawing, Jason? What's your opinion about the idea of withdrawing with a set to go?
I mean, I think if there's any possible way that you can pull it out, not to withdraw. I mean, went through the agony in Thailand where we were up 96. I thought we were invincible, and then I see it come down to that last board. They dropped 85, and if the opponents had got the last board right, they actually would have come back and won and picked up, 98 imps or something or even more than that in 15 boards. So, I mean, that's...
You think there's something about, I mean, Levin and Weinstein are sitting there and playing 16 boards, and also, I mean, Israel only managed to score 100 imps in their first 80 boards. So do you think the idea of coming back, they couldn't even score 120 imps in 80 hands? You think that it wasn't going to happen? And but the question is, do you think it's fair that USA doesn't have to play those last 16 boards? Do you think do you think it'll affect their stamina that they got that extra break going into the semifinals?
I mean, I think it's fair, but I think it's definitely good for them since Levin and Weinstein and the other guys all got to rest. And Levin and Weinstein only played 16 boards today, so they can relax and then refocus for tomorrow. I mean, I don't.
And Curtis, how do you feel? How do you feel about about WDs being allowed?
Well, I think they should absolutely be allowed. It's silly that if you manage to get yourself up by 120 with 16 boards to play, everyone pretty much, I'd say once it gets over 100 with 16 to play, the general ethic or like a, let's see, it's a courtesy to let the other team get a little rest before a big match tomorrow. Put it that way. It's considered to be discourteous to make them play if it's totally beyond reach.
I mean, I totally agree. I wish that there was a better way of measuring when it's beyond reach. I should think that in a baseball game when you're ahead with a half inning to go, they don't make them go to bat for the last half inning. They call the game, and it would be nice if there was some way, in a golf matches when you're up by 3 with 2 holes to go, you pick up and you go back to the clubhouse. It would be cool if there were some benchmarks, some numbers that if you're up by this many imps with going into the last segment that it's over.
Well, sure, it's hard enough as it is. If you look at the way the tournament's gone so far, the round robin itself was 21 matches played over 7 days. So we get up, we play at 9, and we don't. And, we pretty much just play all day until it's time to go to bed. So 7 days just to get through the round robin. Then it's another 6 days of, actually 7 days of, just the face-to-face stuff. So the bridge is always its worst at the end of the second week. How can it not be? Everyone is, been playing for 2 weeks and they're dead and their brains aren't working too well. So. Yeah. I don't know. It's to me, it's just it's just the right thing to do if you want the tournament to be decided by 2 teams at least playing average. They're not going to play their best. I think if they play average, they're pretty happy compared to what usually happens. You watch it and you wonder how they ever win a single match. Much less get to the finals.
Right. Yeah, it's so true. Just looking in Bermuda Bowl's past, 2 weeks is just, you can see some of the best players in the world just making mistakes that they wouldn't make if they were fresh.
Even my guys, when I was watching Joel and Justin, they've been playing fantastically well, but I could clearly see they were getting tired. I played them all day today, and the last segment there were 2 or 3 boards that it was obvious that it was simply fatigue setting in.
Right.
I noticed a couple of those hands as well. It's unfortunate, but fortunately it didn't cost the match. It seemed like Sweden was a bit tired as well on a few hands, so it
absolutely. Like every time Sweden it seemed like they were making a little run. Something would happen. Phyllis and I watched from our hotel room, and it sort of started this thing where we watch on BBO, and every time our team would do a couple of dumb things, she would go take a walk, and it was always during her walk that they would mount a little comeback. So in fact, at this time when she came back from her walk, they were playing one spade doubled with 2 over tricks in one room, and I think they were making a double contract in the other room as well. So we'll see if the walking works tomorrow.
Especially at the end of the night. So let's take just a quick look at the women's and the seniors in the Venice Cup. we saw a couple big upsets. Both American teams knocked out, and they both came into today with with the lead, and they just didn't quite hold it out. The USA2 got smoked in the first set this morning, and actually lost all 3 segments. And USA1, despite winning more imps in segment number 4, they lost a little bit and then got crushed in the last segment to lose by more than a couple boards. And England took care of Sweden in the last set. I think they were close to tie going into the last set, but they really put a hurting on them. And France against China, it was 4th place against a barely qualifying France, yet they were 2 pre-tournament favorites. France also had a big segment. It seemed like segment 4, there was a lot going on. China crushed Italy in segment 4, and as we see, Indonesia took care of USA2. They won 40 imps in that first set, and so I guess there was a lot going on in that segment. So, and moving on to the seniors, just the both USA teams in the seniors won their matches. USA2 winning by both of them winning by 40, and USA1 winning by 20, and Poland and France both winning their matches handily. So I want to take some time to talk to you. We've got 2 unbelievable semifinal matches tomorrow in the Bermuda Bowl. USA1 against USA2. Curtis, I know what you want to have happen. Now let's talk about some genuine opinion about who's going to win this match. I mean, I guess you can't really say anything but your team's going to win. But how do you think the match is going to go down? What do you think is going to be the most important part of the match for your team to win?
Well, I mean, but our 2 teams have widely different personalities. As far as the team personality. Of course, we have Joe Grew and Justin Law, who play very tactical kind of high wire act, and that's what I want from them. I want them to go out there and score some imps, and hopefully they don't get stepped on too many times in the process. And it's the same thing with Joel and Johnny. If everyone watches them play, Joel preempts more than any human I've ever seen. So I would say we have a much more aggressive, action-oriented team than they do. And our third pair, we're lucky to have a pair that can really play. And it's the same thing with them. They both like to mix it up. And I would say their pairs are not like that at all. Bobby and Stevie are the ultimate grinders. I mean, they will be grinding out every single trick, for all 96 boards.
Right. And you start with 10 imps. You guys, your team was nice enough, and so were USA1 to play in our challenge match in September. Where, for those of you who didn't watch, they played 48 boards with every pair playing 2 segments, and USA2 won by quite a bit. They lost the first segment, but then came back strong to win the match. And also in the round robin here, the opening match that we saw USA2 win handily by 20 imps. So far they've had a lot of success, but that being said, nobody has beaten the Fleischer team from the USA since their team was formed. They have not lost a match to an American team. They're undefeated against Diamond, they're undefeated against Nickel, and so it has yet to be done that an American team can take them down. So it's a real tough match to call. I really don't know who's going to win. I'm so excited to watch the match. And,
well, I would say that the same thing also applies to our team. Our team has not been beaten, and not just by no American teams, but beaten by nobody. Our team formed solely to play the U.S. team trials this year, and we went through undefeated.
That is true.
And we finished higher than USA1 did in the round robin.
Undefeated American teams playing off against each other, and it'll be exciting. So on the other side, Italy playing against the Dutch. We have a confident Dutch team playing at home. They're starting, as you see, with the 2 imp carryover, a little bit more than 2 imps, and they're really, really short. Seems to think that they're playing the best bridge that they've ever played, and we saw them walk over Iceland. And everybody thinks Italy's supposed to win the tournament, but what do you guys think about this match?
Go ahead. I'll hear what.
I'm gonna have to go with the Dutch. I mean, I think it's gonna be a hard-fought battle, but I think the Dutch are gonna pull it out.
Well, I think anyone who bets against Italy is going to be a poor man at the end of the day.
You know, see, one of the things I think about is for all these years, Italy has been so successful in the World Championships because they've consistently sent three very, very strong pairs to the plate, and I think that in Europe, more like Sweden is and especially the Netherlands, the Dutch have three great pairs. It hasn't happened before that this many countries have been able to send three really strong pairs to this field, and Italy have for a long time been considered the favorites, but I think the Dutch have a really good matchup. I think it's going to also just going to be an amazing match. I'm so much looking forward to this one as well. I can't, as a bridge fan, I just can't even I can't wait until 4:30 tomorrow morning. That's all I can say. New York time.
Well,
you don't hear me say that very often.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it's the best four teams, in the finals. So everyone should get just what they're looking for. I think it's going to be fantastic. I told Phyllis today that my prediction is that Joel and Johnny are going to light it up tomorrow, and I'm sticking with that one. They've really been getting better every day they played. I was thrilled with the way they played today.
That's what I noticed more than anything in their match against Sweden. Is it just seemed like they put very few minus positions on their scorecards. When you were looking, in the couple sets that you really gained imps on, they really had no bad boards, and it's just such a huge part of coming to comparisons and just not having bad boards. They've been the most impressive pair that I've watched.
Well, I'm lucky enough. So I have my third pair. Kevin Bathurst and Dan Zagorin. I played them today. I played them yesterday in the segments 1 and 3, and gave them all day off today to play our front four. But when I put him in yesterday, like down 15. The second or third board, they bid two hands to about an 80% slam that went down, but after that, they just closed it up, and I think Sweden only scored 3 imps on us the rest of the whole segment.
Right.
I'm gonna. I don't know. I've got. It's always good when your captain has faith. Faith in you.
We got the
all my boys.
Curtis, good luck to your team tomorrow. Thank you so much for joining us, and I hope everybody has enjoyed this show and just get the most out of your experience tomorrow watching the next few days. It's nothing like this for a Bridge fan. Thank you, Jason.
All right, as well. Thanks, Curtis.
See you
Thanks,
guys.
Gavin.
Bye.